Congress is, what is a good basic dignified level? And then let the stock market do what it wants to some extent, as long as it doesn't challenge this basic and doesn't cause wars and doesn't cause pollution and still many constraints. But
one of the things I'm concerned about that the conservatives do very, very well, they scapegoat and they stay on message. If it isn't the Hispanics, it's the teachers and the government workers, and of course that hides what the real causes are. And there are so many people who take that as gospel, and that's been, that's demagoguery that goes back thousands of years, and it's still out there. Karl Rove, you mentioned before, is a master. Don't worry about whether it's true, just keep repeating it. And we Democrats don't know how to do that. That's a problem.
And my theory is that, so we're trying to understand conservatives. I sort of analogize it in my book to two kids in the sandbox, and one of them doesn't have any toys, the other one's got most of the toys, and some of them are extremely powerful weapons. And we're not trying to take all their toys, but we're trying to ease the powerful ones from them. But they have these impenetrable fundamentalisms. So we're just trying to learn how to communicate with this. We don't want to limit our possibilities, because arguing with conservatives, such as the healthcare debate, the public option was thrown out in the first 2 months. So that to me was, liberals limiting our horizons because of conservatives. But we should see them as an ancient regime. First century religion, 18th century economics.
21st century politics.
21st century politics. But also, as you were saying, Rove is good, and that's why Machiavelli's in here. Gandhi said the means are the ends, but Machiavelli said the ends justify the means. In the nuclear age, what are we going to do? It's a hard decision, hard decision. Nonviolence is one of my favorite ideals, and certainly the truth is. And, to me, Machiavelli ruined his reputation for the rest of history by saying what people are afraid to say. People do lie. We have, wolves and snakes, and in our minds, we evolved from every violent or deceptive. I saw a program where monkeys are pretty good at lying. It turns out they're real good at lying. But you lose your authority when you lie. This, big hard decision. But on the other hand, FDR, he ran for, second term? I'm not going to get in the war. Woodrow Wilson ran for the second term. I'm not going to get in the war. Yeah. They both pretty much intended to get in the war, as best we can tell. Yeah. So Machiavelli is there with us. We want to keep him as far away as possible, but he's there.
You mentioned Albert Einstein once or twice. He's probably not considered one of the great philosophers of all time, but he did have definite views on religion. I have a question for you after this. One, he was really against organized religion, said a lot of critical comments. Secondly, he said if there is a God, it's not a personal God, the kind you would talk to him and you'd listen to you, or would pray. And third, he did though conclude that there's a creator of this, there's a great intelligence that pulled all this universe together. Not the God of the Bible, he never said that, but there's a great intelligence that's too complex to think that it just happened. Where are you personally on this continuum between yes there is, no there isn't, at this moment, because this does change. At this moment. Yeah, where are you okay with you?
It depends on how many books y'all buy.
Well, here's the follow-up question. How can you sell a book for $15 here, we can carry it home, and then offer us $10 over the internet? It's going to be $4.95 postage, or what?
No, it's $10 if you give me your email.
Yes.
You buy it here, and then I'll try. In exchange, you write a blurb about the book when you finish it.
Oh,
And I use that blurb in my marketing campaign.
oh, okay.
And I get your email address in order to be hassle you about the blurb.
And that's one question.
Einstein did say, though, that a world without ethical culture would not be a good world.
There you go.
But I do want to say, it seems to me that one of our solutions is to follow Gandhi and be the change we wish to see in the world, or what the philosopher of the Solidarity movement said, and I can't think of his name right now, but he said, act as if the world were already the way you want it to be. And if you do so, you will change the world. And that's how Solidarity helped in bringing down communism in Poland and beyond. And I wonder if we all acted as if the world were already the way we wanted it to be, what we could bring about.
That's a great saying. Yeah, it's, again, I don't want to counsel, not trying your hardest, but two of the poles that Nietzsche and Jesus bring up are individuality and community. And I always thought Jesus was one of the ultimate fighters for community. He said, sacrifice, share, turn the other cheek. And Nietzsche said, "The heck with community." Nietzsche wasn't even interested in politics. He said, once you get beyond a person, it's so corrupt and so compromised, then what's the use? So it's one of the benefits of being a free thinker is that you can go either way. So today, if you're feeling like hitting the streets, go for it. But if you don't, it's okay. You didn't ask to be thrust into this world, into this crazy world ruled by a first century religion, 18th century politics. So maybe today is the day you tend to yourself. You reconstitute your energies. And so, we want to be as healthy, as happy as possible, and then go for it.
As a devout socialist, I would like to suggest, and you can think of this as facetious or humorous, that all we need to do to fix the financial situation, for one thing in this country, we have now practicing constant, it's been going on for as long as I have been aware of anything financial. We have socialism at the top and capitalism at the bottom. That's all.
Yes, it's very confusing, and I meant this to be a part of a trilogy. Free Thinker's Guide to Politics, Love, and Money. And this was the politics part of it. I've already written the love version, but I'm too scared to put it out there. Nobody likes it. But the third book is going to be called Quality and Crap, I think.
Quality and what?
Crap. Maybe not. I hope not. But
Quality in or quality of?
quality and. And it's going to be a very practical guide about, what's the value in this society and what's not. It's not all the society. For instance, has anybody looked at their New York Times today?
Yes.
And usually on Sunday you open the first page, and on the second page there's 5 advertisements for these big shiny rocks. $50,000 of rock. And they call them diamonds or emeralds or something. And then they're shiny rocks and expensive clocks. They'll be 25. But to me, 80% of our